Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing great. In this short Python tutorial, I want to show you basic operations for lists. So therefore I created here a list called list1, which is equal to these numbers here. And as you can see, I go from 1 to 12 and I have here several 5s in between there. When I just run that, then I just created the list. Then to get the length, I just type len, which is just the abbreviation for length, and when we run that we get 15. So we have 15 elements here in this list. To get the first element, remember Python starts by counting from 0, so we need to type here a 0, and when we run that we get the first element, which is a 1. When we want the second element, this is just the same command, we type a 1, and this is the second element. So Python counts 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. If we want to get the last element of this list, which is the 12 here, then we type here a -1. So when we run that, we get this 12. When we want to get the second last element, then we just type a -2, similar to this -1, and then we get 11, which is the second last element in the list. When we want to get all the elements from the second to the last one, so 2 until 12, then we just start by the second element, which is in Python the first index, and then we use a column, and back here we just leave it empty, so we want it until the end. So we get as expected from 2 to 12. Then when we want to do the same thing, just from the second last to the first element, then we just type the colon first and then the -1. So we get the first until the second last element, just similar as above. When we need all the unique elements in the list, so as you can see up here, we have the number 5 4 times. We just run that and we have each element only once. As you can see here, the 5 only appears once. Okay, then when we want to add a 1 for each element, so we want to make here a 2 out of it, we want to make here 6 plus 1 a 7, here a 9 plus 1 a 10, then we just use this command in brackets. We say the element x plus 1 for each element in the list, which is called list1. When we run that, then we get the whole list with each element, and now we added here for each element a 1. Now when we want to append or add a new number at the end of the list, then we just use the command .append with the number within the brackets. When we run that and look at the list1, then we see here at the end we have 20, which is just the same thing as above. And then when we want to add several numbers at the end, this can't be done by just using the append function and type here several numbers. So we just use .extend, don't forget the brackets, and then we just type the numbers which we want at the end. So as you can see here, we still have this 20 down here because we appended it in this step before, and here we have these 3 numbers we just extended here. But if you actually want to add a number at a specific position, then we need insert, and first we just specify which position. Remember, Python starts counting by 0 and then the number. So now we want the 30 at the second position, which would be between here. If we run that, you see, as expected, we get the 30 between the 1 and in front of the 2, and the rest just stays the same. Now to remove one number, then we just use the .remove function with the number specified in the brackets. So if we want to remove this 6 here, then we just run this command. So we got rid of the 6 here. When we want to remove a 5, then we just removed here a 5 additionally. So you see a 6 and a 5 is now gone. Just to show you another one, when we want to remove this first number here, we run it again and then it disappeared. With this real simple introduction to basic operations for lists, I just wanted to show you some examples how you could get familiar with lists. If this helped, please leave a like and subscribe. As always, thanks a lot and see you next time.